So here we go. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I am Joe Prisco. I am joined by Zion Gennuso. Got that correct, Zion?
Gennuso.
Gennuso. Sorry about that. I'm still learning. And for we are doing Blue Devils at home, and Zion was nice enough to join me, and I greatly appreciate it. So first off, Zion, how are you doing?
It's not really different from what we've been doing in the past, dealing with my medical history. But we just kind of getting adjusted to being at home, staying home, not being able to go out to the stores and stuff. Making sure everything is kind of sanitized. We're watching what we do, as in touching, staying clean.
Okay, and we'll get into a little more details about maybe extra precautions you're having to take, because of your medical condition. But we'll deal some with how'd your online classes go and your finals go first.
Great.
Okay. How's your family doing too?
Oh, we're doing good. We're all good.
Okay. Did you head back home to Lake Charles for?
I actually did.
Okay.
Right before school, they really started closing. I had packed all my stuff and I had came home, and it was right after that they had closed school and it was we're going online.
Okay, and that's worked out pretty well for you, huh?
Right.
Okay. Let's see. We can deal now with what are some things you've done to kind of occupy your time when you're not in school? Is there any new hobbies or habits you've kind of picked up in the meantime?
I play music, I work out, and I play video games and watch TV, cook, sleep. That's about it.
So what do you like to cook, or what's your dish that you like to cook?
I like to cook gumbo.
Gumbo, all right. It's fantastic. How about what video games are you into?
I play 2K, NBA 2K, and Madden.
Okay.
And Call of Duty.
Do you mostly play online against people, or do you have people in your family? Okay. All right. Let's see. What's one of the first things you're kind of looking forward to once you're allowed to get back out there, and we're living more of a standard or normal life?
Mainly to see my family, but also a gym to try to stay in shape, because it's a little bit too much good eating over here. And so I gotta get back in the gym and start working out.
Okay. Let's see. You truly have a very interesting life story, about the genetic mutation and the immune deficiency disorder you had to go through, and your multiple hospital stays, and numerous other health problems that it caused. So do you want to kind of run us through when things first start happening for you, and kind of maybe give us a little bit of your life story?
So I was diagnosed at 5 months old. So I had already had my shots and my vaccines, and was diagnosed at 5 months. And I was put on a respirator for a month, and I had double pneumonia. And then the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong, so they had to go through and test and just basically kind of just figure out what they could do to see what was wrong with me, because they couldn't figure out why I was like this until they had finally figured it out that I didn't have an immune system. And so at that time, they were trying to find a donor for a transplant. So as they were trying to figure that out, it wasn't until 2005 when I was able to find my donor. And I actually still know my donor to this day. His son is graduating this year. And, I try to keep in touch with all of them. And once I had my transplant, it worked for maybe 2 to 3 years. And in 2009, the leukemia had rediscovered again. And so we had to do another bone marrow transplant. And this time my mother she gave me her bone marrow and her blood cells to help and possibly, cure the leukemia. And so I sat with her all the time while she was doing it, and I was right there with her. And then she was right there with me when I was in the hospital all my life. And so when she done it, it cured the leukemia, but I still had no immune system. So I don't really make T cells. So that's what helps you fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make that enough, so I have to get an infusion called IVIG. So it's basically like a temporary immune system. So I go every month, and I go, and it's like they stick a needle, and it's like an hour to 2 hours. I sit in a chair, and they'll sit there, and it'll just pump some fluids in me, and it's basically like a temporary immune system, so that like that month I'll be able to, kind of live a semi-normal life. So it's like even at school, I'll go during class, like let's say on a Monday or Tuesday, usually Wednesday, I'll go I'll go to the infusion center and I'll get my infusion. I'll come back and go back to class.
Wow. Um,
And
I was going to ask,
I had
obviously with everything that's going on like around the world, everyone's being like super cautious with their health, but you have to be even more careful. Are there extra precautions that you and your mom are taking, even say to go out to grocery stores or outside or whatnot?
Well, we still have to go to the infusion room every month. So the precautions we take is we double mask, gloves, walk in there, we make sure everything's sanitized before we get in there. And then once we sit down, we keep our mask on the whole time. And then we'll get the infusion. And then once the infusion is over, we'll get back in the vehicle, spray ourselves down and then get in the car and then drive probably enough to where we say it's safe. And then we'll take our mask off and our
Okay.
gloves and we'll re-sanitize and wash our hands.
Wow. Wow. It's amazing. And this is kind of dealing with, as a collegiate athlete, you're exposed to a lot of, potential germs that you might not be able to fight. How are you able to, be an athlete and be in that sort of environment, even before, the coronavirus?
So I have to have my own special water being an athlete and all that because like there's some water that's not a reverse osmosis and purified. And so I only really drink Aquafina because it's reverse osmosis and it's purified. So like everybody really knows me. They know I just drink that water. I don't really drink tap water. I don't drink any tap water. Like any water other than Aquafina, I won't drink. And it's just because, the other water will have sometimes bacteria in it that you won't know about and it can cause me to get sick. So I I usually drink that water and then I wash my hands after I work out. I wipe down the bench if I'm working out or anything like that. And then it's just all about like aware who's around that's sick and all that. You just have to watch really everything as you're like during in school because I'm on my own, so I don't have my mom to tell me like need to
Okay.
watch this and all that. So it's like I watched her tell me this as I was a kid to take that now.
Okay. Okay. And how about like for equipment? Because I know obviously you're a thrower. You throw things, and do
Right.
you have your own equipment you have to go with to make sure it stays sanitized or anything else like that?
I use the same equipment we all use, but after I'm done throwing and all that, then I wash my hands and everything, and then make sure it's good because I
Okay.
won't touch my face while
Yeah.
I'm using my equipment.
Excellent. 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 And I know you're obviously track and field, but you also played football growing up. Did that cause any problems like in a collision sport like that?
Uh, it really didn't. My mom just wasn't for the football at first, but then my dad was like, it's his choice, and so she was like, you're gonna get older and you're gonna have to take these hits. So she let me play, and I got hurt, but it wasn't like I got hurt, but it was like I didn't really feel it, so I just continued to play, and it just never got like I was in a brace for most of my sports. So for football, I had a brace for a little while, and then once baseball season came that same year, I ended up playing without the brace, and it felt the same.
So you were a three-sport athlete at least in high school, or did you do it even more?
I was a three sport.
Okay. And was track your favorite, or was that the one that enjoyed the most? Or
Uh, Track was more on the back burner.
okay.
I started liking it in high school because when I was playing football and baseball, from my school we don't have a lot of like people a lot of athletes at our school. So like a lot of us will be three sport athletes, sometimes two sport. And so they had asked me to come and, you know, throw for track. And I was like, I ain't never throw for track. Just never really gave it a chance. And then I gave it a chance and I started liking it. And so my football coach ended up becoming my track coach. So it's just like I was just able to be around, people who push me already coming from another sport. So I knew his mindset was the same thing with me.
And I'm going to kind of delve back a little bit. I know that in the article I read about you said that your life expectancy was not expected to be very high. What was the prognosis from your doctor? Kind of talk to us a little about that. Maybe about how your philosophy in life changed.
Well, they at first told us that they needed to put a trach in me because I couldn't breathe on my own when I was on a ventilator. But my mama just, prayed to God, and she was like, I'm not going to take him and give him a trach. And so when she prayed to God and everything, you know, he took us off the ventilator and I was able to breathe. And so they was like, he's not going to live past 9. And then here I am now, I'm 19 years old in college. And so the regular normal expectancy now is 30, but I've already beat 9. So it's like,
It's just another challenge for you, right? Another challenge you're going to win, right?
right,
So, because I think anytime you face something that young, it kind of matures you a whole lot more than probably a normal person. So I think that your outlook and your philosophy on things is different than maybe the typical 19-year-old.
right.
So let's see. Let's see. Also, and this is kind of interesting, as I did some research on you, that you're also, as you mentioned, you play music as well, and your uncle has a band. So when did
Right.
it first start, and how long have you been playing music? Is your whole family musical, or?
Whole family's musical. So it started before I was born, as my mama and my uncle and my other uncle were kids with my grandfather. And so it just progressed to where every kid that they had got into it. And so it's like I've been playing with my grandpa and my uncle since I was a kid, since I was like 4. Like even before the transplant and all that, I used to be out there. And once the transplant came, I had to take precaution. I just didn't go as much because I was more in the hospital then. And so like once I've been in remission for almost 10 years now. I think it made 10 in September, or it might make 11. And ever since then I've been it was like went back to school after my transplant and everything, and I started back into music and I started going with them a lot. And I was playing music and they was just teaching me. They was like, they just taught me how to play any instrument I asked them to.
Okay. So what is your favorite instrument to play, or what's the one that you tend to kind of gravitate towards?
I gravitate towards the scrub board, but I'm learning more of the accordion right now. And I'm also a half hype man, so I have to have the mic in my hand every
Okay,
time.
okay. I see how you
Spit,
are.
right.
Yeah. uh, that's wonderful. How often does your uncle's band perform, or how often are you able? I mean, obviously, right now no one's performing, but before this whole thing happened, were you able, guys, to perform like a couple times a month or a couple times a year, or what was the performance?
So being with him, if I'm not in school, because I'm 3 hours away from them,
Yeah.
if they come this way, I'll make like a gig or two. But when I come home or during like the summer, it's 3 times a week, maybe 4 or 5 a weekend, because we play Friday, Saturday, Sunday nonstop. So
Excellent.
it's like our rest period is during the week, but once the weekend comes, it's got to go get the money.
That's wonderful. You're incredibly fascinating. I was going to ask, how did you choose Dillard to attend Dillard?
So when I started looking at colleges in my junior year, I was looking at all the schools in Louisiana. Then I looked at Texas, and then I looked in California. And so I was looking at them 3 schools mainly. And I had applied for some schools in Texas, and I had applied for New Orleans and California. And it was just like I was gonna go and visit schools. I had went visit some Texas schools like U of H and Texas Southern, PV, schools like that. But it just didn't give me the vibe that Dillard gave me when I went there. It was like everybody was, you know, they just open arm welcome me and everything like a family. It was like a red carpet, they took me there. They showed me everything, and I was just like, this the one.
Awesome. So, what's been like your favorite part of being at Dillard, and also your favorite part of being part of the track and field program?
For being at Dillard, it's just like everybody's almost your family out there. You know everybody on Dillard's campus. And then it's also that I pledged and I have like brothers that are like basically on campus with me because my family's way back home. So it's like I have brothers that are here now. And being on the track team is just, everybody's funny. And I also have my brother who pledged with me. He's on the track team. And there's also Coach Gay, because Coach Gay is funny.
Obviously, I think you kind of came in with more mature mindset than most people did. But how have you changed since you arrived at Dillard? What positive changes have you felt in yourself since you arrived on campus?
Since I arrived at campus, it was like I was just there at first. Like I was like I didn't want to really be involved with a lot of stuff. I just wanted to get my degree and play sports and just get out and pledge. But then I just started getting more involved at school because it was like there's so many clubs and everything. I was just like, oh, I want to get involved. So I just started getting involved with anything I could find, and so that's when I just was like, just put me in anything. I tell coach, if you want to put me in the 60 meters, let me know. Might not win it, but I'm gonna run it.
You're ready. You were born ready. I love that attitude. Son. Let's see. We'll ask you some easier questions. Do you have a favorite actor or actress?
My favorite actor is Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. Okay. Do you have a favorite movie?
Boys in the Hood.
Okay. Do you have a favorite TV show or musical artist?
My favorite TV show is probably the Jamie Foxx show, or Martin.
Okay. How about do you have a favorite athlete?
My favorite athlete. I have two.
Okay, you can have several.
One of my favorite athletes is Kyrie Irving and Michael Jordan.
Okay. Did you happen to watch the Last Dance on ESPN for the last 5 weeks?
Right. I watch it every night. I'll rerun the show and just watch it.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that a lot of people will have, if they didn't come in with a great appreciation for Michael Jordan, I think they did. And I think you came into it with knowing how good Michael Jordan was. But I think a lot of people that didn't or weren't aware of Michael Jordan became aware of him. So.
Because it's like he played against a very physical era. And it's like he played against people that was twice his size.
Awesome. What's been your best or your favorite class so far, Dillard?
My favorite class, English.
Okay. Did you find that it challenged you, or was there something about the class that just kind of appealed to you?
It's really been my teacher. My teacher is, he's really funny, and he gets his point across, and he makes sure we get our work done.
Okay. How about who is your funniest teammate or teammates?
Funniest teammate. I'm gonna have to go with funniest teammate is Jalen Stamps.
Okay. Is he always cracking a joke, or is it just kind of his demeanor?
It's just the way he talks. It's just funny.
Okay. How about which one of your teammates would you say is the neatest or the most organized?
I don't know about that one.
Okay, no problem.
I don't know.
Okay, we can skip that one. How about if you had to go back in history, what historical figure have you always wanted to meet or have dinner with?
For me, I would say Jim Brown.
Okay, Jim Brown. Is there reading about him, or what about Jim Brown appeals to you?
So Jim Brown, he was also a football player, but at the same time, he was in and around the civil rights, dealing with the civil rights movements and everything. So he was right along with Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, people who were around in that time. And then he also started movies. So it was like he was everything and everywhere. He just wanted to do anything.
Exactly. And he also was a two-sport athlete in college as well. He was a lacrosse player and supposedly one of the best lacrosse players anyone ever saw. So
Right. And that's why it's just like, he did anything he wanted to do, and he tried with any player. And it was just like he was famous already, and he went to the civil rights. Because at that time when he was playing football, it wasn't a lot of running backs like him. And so that's what made him stand out a lot.
Awesome. That's an amazing choice. And it's the first time I've asked this question of people, everyone in the interviews, and that is the first time I've gotten that answer, and it's a great answer. So I was going to say, obviously, we know about your musical abilities. Is there any other hidden facts or talents that you have that you want to talk about? That no one knows about right now?
I ride horses.
You ride horses, really? How long have you been riding horses for?
All my life.
All your life. So you're kind of an amateur professional.
Somewhat.
Okay.
You get me with a folder and some mud, and I can show you some.
All right. Let's see. How about this? We'll go back to campus. What's the best meal on campus?
It's my own homemade meals. That's what I say, dude.
Okay. Gumbo is your favorite. Is there anything else you enjoy making?
Spaghetti. I like spaghetti.
Okay. Are you a traditional spaghetti maker? Do you like to have do you make your own sauce, or do you buy your sauce, or kind of depends?
I'm traditional. I just throw it all in one.
Okay. Let's see. Are there any meat rituals that you have that you go through, like every single meat, that kind of gets you in the right mind frame and whatnot?
So the night before, I go to sleep like very early, and so I just wake up and I try to get as mad as possible, because it always works when I just get mad. And so I'll put in my headphones, and I'll ride to the meet. I'll stay with the headphones until they start calling names, and we're warming up, and I'm still with my headphones in. And then once it's time for me to actually throw, I take off the headphones. I turn everything off, and then I just go out there and throw.
Is there a particular song or a particular artist that kind of gets you hyped, or is it just kind of vary by the day?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
I just got a playlist though. That's all.
Okay, you have a playlist. All right. Let's see. Obviously, you're in school now, but what is the thing you're looking forward to the most when you get that first real paycheck, where you're out in the real world? I know that you're working. Obviously, you're with your uncle's band and whatnot. But what's the thing you're looking forward to spending your first paycheck on?
That's a good question. I'm gonna have to say it's either gonna be some shoes or something dealing with my truck. I just know it's either those two.
Okay. Are you? Do you like to? How many pairs of shoes do you have? Are you a shoe guy, or?
I have to check back on the number, but I'm in the hundreds.
Hundreds. All right. Do you kind of vary it by the day, or is there by the week, or how do you go about choosing which shoes you're going to wear?
It depends on the color. I feel like if I wear black, okay, I'll wear some black shoes. But it's like every day of the week is a different pair of shoes.
Excellent. So you even color coordinate with your outfits. That's amazing.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Say you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, whether it's Dillard Hall of Fame or like a work Hall of Fame. Who are the people you're going to thank in your Hall of Fame speech?
I'm going to thank my teammates, Coach Gay, my brothers, and my family.
Okay. It's tremendous. Is there a song that you always sing along to, or you like to karaoke to?
I do. Marvin Sapp, He Saw the Best of Me.
Okay. It sounds very inspirational. So Let's see. Is there a place you've always wanted to see that you haven't seen as of yet?
I want to go back to my roots and go to Italy.
Okay, Italy. Awesome, awesome. So let's see. You're from Lake Charles. What is something your hometown's known for, or you're proud of from your hometown?
So we're known for casinos and plants. So I guess I'm thankful for the plants because most cities don't have plants, and so a lot of people come to work in our city to try to make money for their family to bring back. And so that's why I feel like I'm thankful for the plants, even though sometimes it's probably bad for the environment and everything, but it's giving people jobs from other places to help them with their family,
Yes.
to make sure their family is fed.
It's a very great worldview. I'm really impressed. What is one thing you've always wanted to learn how to do that you haven't learned how to do yet?
Uh, Drive an 18-wheeler
Drive an 18 wheeler. Okay, that's interesting.
and back it up with a trailer.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so what is your major, and what is your, at this point, what would you like your career aspiration to be, or what would you like to do once you graduate from Dillard?
So my major is medical physics, and after I graduate from Dillard, I plan to go to Baylor Medical School, and then once I finish with Baylor Medical School, I plan to become an anesthesiologist.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, those are all my questions for Zion. This was enlightening, and I appreciate you taking the time talking with me.
Thank you.
Best of luck, obviously, going forward. I can't wait to get you back on campus. Stay safe, especially with your health situation and whatnot. This is easily one of the most entertaining ones we've done yet, and I appreciate you taking the time talking with me today. Thank you.
Thank you.